Howdy guys, Rex here. Today we're going to talk about the fourth commandment, okay? Now this is like one of my favorite commandments, although it's one of the harder ones for an American working crazy guy to keep, because as a workaholic it's almost impossible to get yourself to slow down once in a while, right? But it is a very, very merciful commandment. Now a lot of folks will use this commandment to gain spiritual hierarchy over other people due to their superior understanding of biblical calendrics. I'm not going to do that to you guys, okay? I'm just going to basically read what the commandment is, and if you want to visit about calendrics or some of the other things that are, because this is a commandment that has a lot of information in it, we can talk about that part later, okay? But right now I just want to make sure I properly articulate the heart of the law to you guys so that you have a pretty good idea of what the point is. It doesn't matter if we're arguing the letter of the law, if we're violating the heart of the law. The heart of the law is not to use it as a clobbering stick to smack other people in the noggin and then become cooler than them, okay? So I'm not going to do that to you because I love you guys and I want you to know what the point of the deal is, okay? So basically, if you look at the fourth commandment, it's, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase because there's like a lot of different versions of the book and exactly how it's said, but we'll just jump into it. It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, okay? For in 6 days, you're going to do all your work, and then on the seventh day, you're going to rest, okay? In that seventh day, the Sabbath day, you're not going to make anyone do any work. You're not going to work. You're not going to make your son work. You're not going to make your daughter work, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, okay? Nor the stranger that is within your gates. Because for in 6 days the Lord God created all of the heavens and the earth and the seas and all that in them is, and then he rested on the seventh day and hallowed it and kept it holy, okay? Well, that's pretty darn straightforward, right? So, like, let's go through it real slow, just so we get all the different points here. There's a lot of different things being communicated here. One of them is that, hey, remember it. Don't forget, because in life, we're going to be going down all these rabbit trails, all these projects, all these different things. We're going to always come up with an excuse why we can't sit down and take a break and appreciate what we already have, okay? And so, like, really sitting down once a week, every seventh day, on the seventh day. Now, people can argue about where that's at. I'm not going to jump down that rabbit trail right now, okay? We're going to get into the heart of the law first, okay? And they are going to be able to remember it, because, like, everything needs a break, man. Your automobile needs to cool off once in a while. That's your cattle within, that your cattle even have to take a break. Your computer needs to shut down to reboot. Your phone even overheats and gets, like, if you run your phone for weeks on end, it starts acting glitchy. You do like a full shutdown and then you turn it back on and it's working good. It's like recalibrating. It's remembering what the operating system was. Remember, in the previous videos, we hinted at the operating system, okay? And so that's something that's important to do, is allow ourselves to do that. We also need a break, not just every night when we go to sleep, but to completely reboot in the context of greater life, where we're all busy laboring in the fields, toiling in the soil, right? Doing our thing. It's very easy to kind of like lose track of exactly where we're at. And sometimes you have to back up and pause and look at the map, just like God did when he created the universe. He says, on the seventh day, he kicked back and he looked at all the work he had did, and he saw that it was very good, okay? So we have to sit back on the seventh day and kick back and look at all the work we have did to see if it is very good. Now, it may or may not be very good, but that's the point of taking a break. Also, it helps you to reestablish communications with the Father, who is the guy that invented all that stuff, right? So in it, you're not supposed to work yourself, okay? So that means no working for you, which is hard. Dude, that's hard. Like, when Shabbat rolls around, I basically want to, like, mow the lawn or do something. Like, I'm going nuts trying to work. It's just how I was wired, we're all kind of raised that way. Maybe, I don't know, especially in the part of the country where I'm from. Like, there is no not working. Like, you always got something to take care of, something to fix, something to do, some kind of project to keep you busy or whatever. You feel like nuts like you're going nuts if you're not actually accomplishing something. However, think about it like this: by resting and recalibrating, you're accomplishing something that's very important, which is recalibration, spiritually, physically, and everything. Okay, so you are accomplishing something if you obey him. It just because you're not physically doing things, doesn't mean you're not accomplishing something. It's very important to do a reboot, and to resynchronize the computers with the Almighty, right? Like if you don't, I had a job one time where we had all this data we'd gather in the field and on the field computers, and you'd like type all this stuff in, and like in order to put it into the mainframe, like every morning we would have to recalibrate and resynchronize those computers. So you'd hit a button and it would communicate with wherever the motherboard was, or the mothership, or whatever the heck you want to call the deal, and it would resynchronize. Okay, if we don't do that, whenever it is that you do decide to resynchronize, it's a process. It'll take you like 100 years to resync it, and stuff's going to be jammed up. You didn't get your updates done properly, all that business, right? You gotta check your updates like on a regular basis to make sure the operating system is working good. Okay, so you need to just like chill out and rest, is what it's saying. Okay, and it also says don't be making your kids go to work. Don't make them mow the lawn. Don't make them do any work at all. Not your son, not your daughter. Okay, and not your servants, your manservant or your maidservant. So if you got people under your employment, a guy shouldn't be making them work on the Sabbath. They should have that rest time, okay? And then also, it even goes so far as to say your cattle, okay? That's your machinery. Like even they need a break, right? Like if you're working all the time, all the equipment you're using is also getting work. Like even the land, dude, like every 7 years, there's actually a Sabbath year back in the day, right? If you read the book, this is called crop rotation. Like if you exhaust the soil, even the dirt gets tired and it ain't going to grow nothing. And so like crop rotation has been instituted thousands and thousands of years ago, and they only rediscovered it after the Great Depression, and people are like, hey, wait a minute, like there's this thing that like we're supposed to do, which is called give the land a break for 5 minutes. You're exhausting it of its resources. It had no time to replenish itself, okay? Highly, highly critical. So your equipment, your cattle, and then it also says the stranger that's in your gates. So if you've got some company over, or other strangers or other people that are inside your gates under your control, don't make them work. Like, give them a break, okay? And so that's the heart of the law. Now, why? Because you need to recalibrate. Also, here's another huge thing people don't think about. It's also establishing, like, he's identifying himself in the second part, where he's like, because in 6 days I created the universe, and I rested on the seventh day. So he's saying, like, you guys think you're tough, but like, think about me. I'm the Almighty. I created the universe. This is where the Lord reveals his rank. Now, in the first commandment, he says, hey, I'm the guy that brought you out of Egypt. I'm the God that like saved you from slavery, right? He says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And that's all super important. But now he's actually showing his rank, like, hey, I am the 5-star general, the supreme commander of all operations of the universe. I actually invented the universe and the ranking system and physics and time. Now, don't get bent on a shape. Oh, Rex, they're already typing in the commentaries. Rex doesn't believe in evolution. Rex doesn't know about science. Dude, if you want to have a science contest, that's great. I was the top science student in my university, if that helps you to just calm down for 5 seconds, okay? I know about geology, biology, earth science, environmental science. I was an engineer. I was a well site geologist for big drilling rigs. Like, I've dug around, I've dug holes. So like, don't get bent out of shape. Don't put words in my mouth, okay, guys? That's a whole nother conversation right there. But basically, he created everything, and he's saying, I made everything. I command you to take a break. He's now giving you his domain. He's now defining his realm of authority, okay? So he lays it on us slower. Every seventh day, he wants us to remember that, because that is the ground wire or the recalibration mechanism which really recharges us. If we can remember that he like built everything in 6 days and then rested, that he is the Almighty, like we get lost in the noise of life and we get scared and we get intimidated and we lose priorities. Like every seventh day you kick back and you go, whoa, wait a minute. The guy who loves me is the guy that created the universe. What do I got to worry about? Winning